I'm just going to do a quick TLDR just for a video tomorrow. Because I feel like I want to trim down the ranting and raving. What sort of illegal drugs have proliferated within the Blizzard arena? Like how stupid do you have to be? Wrong direction! You're going the wrong way! Why? What is wrong with you? Do you know? No! Come on! You don't even play your game!
This is pretty much the worst Overwatch 2 patch I think we've had yet. And it's such a strange one too because we've made some good changes here. I think some of the Symmetra changes, I think some of the quality of life changes for Wrecking Ball and Ramattra made sense. But I have never seen a patch go in the wrong direction so egregiously with so many heroes. So I'm going to give my thoughts updated with a little bit less ranting and raving. But that being said, it was a terrible patch, and I am honestly extremely disappointed with the developer team on this one, and I'm hoping to see better stuff in the future. Here are my thoughts.
Let's talk about this. So first things first, this is terrible. I think that this patch, this is exactly the wrong direction. This is a Blizzard Classic buffing the wrong thing. If you want to make Orisa better, her frontline presence is not what she needs. She needs something more in the range department. She needs something in the mobility department. Her Fortify is already an automatically I win button. She doesn't die during that. It's not ever been a problem with Orisa for survivability. Her survivability in general isn't the problem. It's her mobility, it's her range, it's her utility. If you're going to do anything here, reducing your Javelin hitbox, buffing her damage, allowing her to move faster after Javelin Spin has been used. Any of those changes, frontline presence, especially through Fortify, is just beyond brain dead. And it's just one of the stupidest patch changes we've had in a long time. Total wrong direction. This is a good quality of life change. This is a very quietly negative change. We're increasing Reinhardt's barrier to uptime to help him better protect his allies. What do you mean protect his allies? This is useless. If you want to increase Reinhardt's survivability on the front line, then you need to give him his 25 or 50 armor back, just to allow him for more playmaking potential. Reinhardt still can get nuked pretty quick here, so give him a little bit more of the HP. I don't like the shield. It's the passive part of his survivability, and it's not going to be necessarily very fun for Reinhardt's to play around, nor is it something that's going to be very fun to play into. It's a minor change, but it's still an actively negative change. I don't like this. This is a good quality of life change. I think this adds a little bit of nuance to whether it's worth reloading or entering ball form. This is what confuses me, as I was saying earlier, that we have like two pretty reasonable changes that actually feels like they understand like how the hero works, and then whatever these abominations are. It's really disappointing to me. This change has the potential to be really broken. We'll have to see how it works in ranked, but I am glad that this is finally getting fixed. This is one of the worst changes they've made to any DPS in a long time. You know, obviously shifting her power to her M1 was what the hero needed, and I've been literally saying since alpha that this needed to be the case, so I'm feeling kind of smug and irritated here, but, you know, better late than never. I don't like this change. I think this is a very quiet, just like, this is similar to the Orisa change, where, like, giving him more damage, giving him more healing, giving him more helix isn't really the problem with the soldier. The problem with soldier is that he is a horizontal more mobility character. In other words, he doesn't have any vertical mobility like Sojourn, but he's unable to, his biotic field and his sprint have anti-synergy, where you can't really use one and then the other. If you're running from a threat, you're running from a threat. You're not healing. Either you're healing or you're not running. And so biotic fields sometimes can feel very tricky to use, especially versus certain compositions. So I think if you wanted soldier to be functional, you would need to change this to like a, what did you guys say? A stap, like a thingy, a jabberoni thingy, to heal him on the move, an HOT. It's like a 4-second, 5-second HOT. You could even nerf the healing per second to like 20, 25. A stimulant. So that you can heal while he's moving or sprinting. That would give him some sort of nuance and an identity that leans into what he's already doing. And then you wouldn't even need to toy with these numbers. You could leave them as they are and just give him the identity that allows him to be played in those circumstances. This doesn't make sense to me. This is just, he's still not going to perform well in situations where he doesn't, and this is just going to make him a little bit more frustrating to play against. Again, the wrong direction these changes to go. Secondary fire manage impact damage. I'm concerned about this one. I understand what they're doing and why they're doing it. Having 3 primary or secondary fires to get a 200 HP kill is a little bit much, but it's a pretty big buff to spam damage. So I was talking about this earlier, and one of the bad things about spam damage is that it can't headshot. Junkrat, Symmetra, whatever. It can't headshot. So having that drawback can make it feel difficult, where it's like, do I have to really hit 3 shots to get a kill? It feels absurd. But also, you pay for it by not having to hit headshots. You can be a lot sloppier with your accuracy. So this is, I am unsure on this one. I think it's probably not a great change for a lot of people playing the character or playing into the character, so I'm a little bit skeptical of this change. This change as well feels a little bit interesting to me, to where I feel like charging off of shield was already something that was motivated for her. Giving her extra survivability while she's doing it is probably not the change that we want. While I respect the Sentry Turret change, I actually really like this, especially the revealing enemy heroes. That's exactly the type of utility that this character needs. I don't know how I feel about these changes right here. Torbjorn, I think these are overall fine. Nothing crazy, but inoffensive. Overall, getting a little bit more dynamic with the playstyle and shifting some of his power away from his frustrating things. Kiriko, I think this is just a dumb change. Again, it's minor, but it's just the wrong read. It's just the hero doesn't need that. The hero is not supposed to be putting out a lot of healing. She doesn't need to put out a lot of healing. She has an immense amount of utility and damage with how she's supposed to be played. I know this is not major, but it's still in the wrong direction. It's just a paper cut, but it's still a wrong read of the hero. Nothing needs to be changed about this whatsoever. We don't need to be allowing her to do more healing. It's a total wrong read, and it's concerning when I see so many changes like this. That just tells me that the developers do not understand their own game at a higher level. Concerning. Zenyatta, this one is also extremely concerning. I think that Discord being a problem of contention, a point of contention, is 100% understandable. Discord on tanks, too easy to get value, too easy to spam, but this is not changing that. This is actually just a quality of life decrease for Zenyatta without actually addressing most of the problems with Discord. I was expecting something like a 25% to 20% reduction, or a selective reduction where it actually goes from 25 to 20% on tanks specifically, both of which are reasonable, and then increasing his damage proportionately. But this just makes it so that it's still, you can Discord tanks in the front line, just leave it and get value. But now you can't Discord squishies or DPS that you're dueling at range, which is annoying. And also, this is really a huge nerf in terms of quality of life for the scouting purposes, dueling purposes, and so on. Again, it's not really going to change the problem. It's the tiniest of nerfs for dealing with tanks as Zenyatta, but it is a much more bigger impact playing Zenyatta into basically everything else. So again, the problem is misdiagnosed. The problem is it's the wrong solution for the problem. It's going to feel bad, but it's still going to be too easy to leave Discord on tanks and get value from that, especially tanks that are playing in the front line. So overall, a very disappointing patch. A couple of highlights here. Torbjorn was a relatively interesting one. The turret change was cool. With other some things I'm not sure I feel about. Sojourn change will remain to be seen. Might be broken, might not be broken. I don't think we've played enough to really know. Little things like the Wrecking Ball and Ramatra are positive, but a lot of really bad things, or just a lot of things that are just tiny, but just objectively bad. Also, a little shout out before I forget. Cassidy's Magnetic Rain does disable Exoboots, Sigma Graphitic Flux, moving in Graphitic Flux. It doesn't cancel the ultimate, and also Mercy's Valkyrie. It prevents Mercy from being able to move in Valkyrie. So, kind of gross. Overall, would rate this patch 2 out of 10. Not a good patch whatsoever. Very concerning, and I just hope that we see better stuff from here on out.